Hello and welcome to the How to Trade Like a Pro podcast. I'm Wieland Arlt. In this episode, I share some thoughts from my day in Swing Trading Masterclass about 12 features of a successful trader. Before we start, please take a closer look at the risk disclaimer in the show notes. And now, enjoy this episode. The mindset of a trader. 12 features of a successful trader. Number 1, reflection. Successful traders regularly reflect on their actions and look for improvement approaches for the future. And of course, this is true. Just because you always make your experiences and all the results you get in trading, all profits or losses are at the end of the day, the result of your actions. And just because they are a result of your actions, you always have to reflect yourself. What have I done right? What have I done wrong? And this is why reflection is so important. So just by observing your own behavior in preparation of the trade. So are you a little bit sloppy doing this, or are you very exact? Do you invest quite big amount of time in research and preparation, or do you go just into the market as it moves? This all has an influence of your trading results, and this is why, of course, you also have to think about how you prepare for trading and how, of course, you execute a trade. So are you going there for, just spontaneous in, spontaneous out, just because you see a movement in price? Do you just jump right into the market and the trade, or is there any more precise and exact call for action for you? So this is also something you have to think about and what you have to reflect on a regular basis. So this is where you get very good insight in your own behavior, and where you get sometimes, an idea of why things are like they are. So where your results come from, good or bad. And of course, it's always good to think about something like a trading journal. This is always a good resource of information exactly for that purpose. And this does not only include that you implement your own trades there, like open, close and so, but also by recording and evaluating your own mood, your thoughts, your feelings, and other impressions. But talking about depressions, of course, if you're in a bad mood, then this is also very, very good to reflect on. Because if you are, in a good mood, like being happy and trustful to yourself, how are your results if you trade then? And in comparison, how are your results if you're in not such a good mood, like being a little bit depressed just because maybe yesterday or the day before you lost quite a big amount of money, or you had a bad day at all, or something private is going on. So how does this affect your trading style, and what influence does it have on your trading results? And this is the idea which is connected with reflection. The ability and willingness to learn. Sure, trading is something you have to learn. Of course, you can buy on the internet everything. Like, I have a system here, you don't have to do anything. We have an automatic trading, and maybe it also works. Maybe it works for a couple of days, weeks, months, or even years. But you will never know what's really going on in trading with your account, with your money, if you're not willing to learn. And you can read a lot of books, watch videos, all the stuff, but you have to do this. And the question is, are you willing to do this? Are you willing to invest all this time and, of course, also money? Because you also have to buy some information. You get a trading course, you get a trading book. So you have to invest your time and your money. And of course, you also learn from trading yourself. So you learn from good trades, you learn from bad trades, you learn from your own behavior. And this is what you also have to keep in mind, and what you also have to consider. That, of course, not just by only reflecting yourself, but also by learning from your own mistakes, you will become a better trader, and you will develop yourself as a trader. So financial markets are always on the move. There are neither fixed patterns nor universally applicable rules to lead to success. So what worked yesterday maybe work today, maybe work also tomorrow, but markets change, and as they do so, you have to be aware that if markets change, the environment changes, and of course your trading style also have to change, or your strategies have to change. And this is why you always have to learn. You have to learn what's going on in the markets, what kind of information is new, is there a new software, is there a new strategy, is there anything new what you should apply on your trading. So this is what successful traders do. They never stop learning, they never stop training. So even if you stop trading for a while just because you maybe lost too much money and you want to make a break, so does this mean you stop trading? Or does this mean that you continue trading, but on a demo account without real money, but just virtual money? And this is something different. You're still trading, you still think about the markets, but you don't risk. And of course, you don't profit money or you don't get a profit from movements, but you trade and you learn and you work, you do your job. And this is also part of the job. So you have to gain your knowledge, and you have to get more and more knowledge day by day, not just by doing things, but also by learning, by consideration, by studying, or by training, by reading. So this is learning by your own experience, and of course by, from the outside, like books, seminars, and of course the videos and all the other stuff. Positive attributability. So successful traders charge themselves positively and are able to adjust themselves positively to trading again and again. That is like a salesman. So you wake up in the morning and you feel good. No matter how your day yesterday was, maybe you had a bad day, maybe you made losses the day before. You wake up in the morning, you're completely reset, everything's fine, positive, you have a clear positive outlook, and you can refuel yourself always again and again and again for a new trading day, for a new trade. And you know that things that happened yesterday doesn't matter that they did yesterday, but they don't influence today. It's like being a salesperson. So just imagine you're going to a client and he's really bad that day, and you go to the next client, and you start right from scratch with that new client. The old one was a bad one. The new one, you have the chance to start all over again. And this is what you always have to take in mind, and what you have to consider. The moment you enter a trade is completely new every time again. So that is, if you open your platform, your software that morning, you start again all over new. And this is very important. So you have to stay positive. You have to be motivated to go on, starting from zero, entering the day, positive, good mind, and then see what's going on. So losses are not due to the person of the trader, but always a result of several factors, like also including in the trading plan. You don't always do profits. You will always also get losses. You will get losses and you will get profits. But it doesn't have to affect your mind. Don't let this happen. So whatever happened yesterday doesn't have to influence trading today. And this is what you have to keep in mind every day, all over again, day by day. Charge yourself positive and always be sure about yourself, about your actions. So that is that you know that everything that happens in trading has a reason, and the reason is usually you. It's a loss or also a profit is just happening because of your decision and your actions. So you are completely responsible and you are completely in charge. So this is what you also have to be aware and what you also have to keep in mind, that if you load yourself with a positive mood, or if you bring yourself in a positive mood, your actions will become more positive and your outcomes will be more positive. It's the same in life as in trading. Rejection tolerance. Yes, and here again, this is like being a salesperson. You can. I think you get an image of this. So dealing with failures, like losses, of course, is another important factor in trading. And if you're a salesperson and if you go to a client and the client rejects you, you have to cope with that. So you have to deal with this. And if you break together just because somebody rejects you, you will not be successful. Not in sales and of course not in trading. If the market says no to you, you will not be successful. Why? Because he always will say no to you, the same way as he always will say yes to your idea. And this is not personal, this is just the way it goes. And it's the same in sales. So if you try to sell something to somebody will say yes or somebody will say no. And this is what happens. And your job is that you always stay positive, that you reject, that you're tolerant to this rejection, and that you go on. Just go on. And this is what happens in trading all the time. So, but if we think about our upbringing, we were educated, and there was a formula, and this formula was: failure means punishment, and success means reward. Just think about school or university or college or whatever. So this formula, failure is punishment and success is reward, makes it so difficult for us to deal with failure in general. And I think this is pretty obvious. So whenever you have a reward, like a profit, you feel successful no matter where this profit came from, even if you made a mistake. And by chance you got this profit out of it, you feel successful. Hey, it worked out, so I'm a lucky guy, so I did everything right. But you can also do all things right according to a trading plan and get a loss. And this usually makes people feel bad. So they have this setting in mind. I made something bad, just because of that I have a failure. If I had done anything right or everything right, there would be no failure, there would be no loss. But that's not true in trading. In trading, you can do everything right according to your trading plan, but still get a loss out of it. And this is what happens. And so if you have done everything right according to your trading plan, there's no need to feel bad about anything. So this is what you have to make. You have to reject this. So you have to be tolerant with this. And you have to live with this. Sometimes markets say yes, and sometimes markets say no. It's the way it is. This is implied in the system. So in trading, losses are included. And therefore, it's so important to realize that it is not one individual trade that decides on success or failure. So it's more a totality of trades in a period of time, like at least a month, maybe a quarter, so 3 months, or half a year, or a year at all. So this is what decides. It's not a single one. So stop caring about a single trade. If it's a winner or a loser, it doesn't matter. In the total, it doesn't matter. So if you think about having total profit and living from trading, you have to be tolerant with rejection. It doesn't matter if you have a winner or a loser. It doesn't matter if the loser is, well, if you have 2 or 3, it all doesn't matter. What matters is how high is your loser and if this loser is or did happen according to your trading plan. This is what's very important. So again, rejection tolerance is very, very important, just to deal with this, that you make your losers and you will make losers as well as you will get some profits. Willingness to intuition. Sometimes we cannot plan everything, and our intuition is a decisive key to success. Even if the setup is 100%, our intuition can give the impulse not to make the trade. So in the same way, our intuition may give the green light to incomplete setups. So the question is, where does intuition come from? Is it just because you have some certain feeling? I can tell you what. Intuition comes from experience. The more experienced you are, the better will be your intuition. So you take a look at the chart, you see some setup forming, or let's say, well, let's think about candlesticks. So if it's a hammer or it's not a hammer, is it really accurate or not? Is it like the definition has to be, or is it slightly different? But you take a look at the chart, you're experienced, and your intuition says, yeah, I feel like there's buying power coming in, I'm entering the market, I'm doing this trade. And this is something that differs you also from a machine. A machine or an expert advisor, for example, like a trading robot, he has complete, accurate definitions of what is a hammer or not. And according to this definition, there would be no trading done until a hammer is a hammer. But you, as a human being, as somebody who is experienced over the years maybe, you have a broader sight and you see also things that are not there. And you say, or you see also that there are, well, some factors influencing the market. They are maybe not really obvious, but you know that there is something going on in the market. And this will add up to your decisions. And this is how you're going to make sometimes other decisions or different decisions like a machine would do. And this is also, well, this is necessary because not always there is a completely accurate setup. Sometimes, markets are not perfect. All the stuff I show you are some kind of models. This is what I show you first, right? And then I show you the chart. And what you see is that in the model, there's something. This is perfect. This is a perfect setup. This is perfect. Everything's quite designed. But if you go in practice, if you see a real chart, it looks a little bit like that, but not exactly the same because markets move as they do. And sometimes, of course, they break a high or a low and still come back. And this is the difference between theory and practice. And as an experienced trader, if you are willing to let also your intuition happen, this will get you the edge as a trader to profit also from not so clear signs and not so clear setups, and still can say, yes, according to my plan and according to my experience, this looks good. I'm going into a trade, or also I don't get into the trade just because I know this is some kind of foolish stuff and I know the market is going to fool all the traders and I'm not going in here. This is also the same. So the same is, do I close the trade, yes or no? And this is experience and trust where this intuition comes from. Expertise, of course. No job can be done without some kind of expertise. So you have to be an expert, you have to be absolutely completely professional, not knowing just all the theory stuff, but also knowing everything about yourself. This is why we're talking about the mindset of a trader. This is why, thinking and caring about your psychological factors in trading is at least as important as all this theoretical stuff about setups, trends, strategies, and whatever. So this all comes together and has to be combined. And in the combination, you gonna be an expert. And of course, over the years in trading, you're gonna be an expert. So this is not just blind gambling if you're intuitive. It's you're an expert, and then you know your intuition will lead you to success just because you have made all these experiences and you're an expert and can say, yeah, I feel like, or I have the intuition that it goes in this or that direction. And then you're having this edge. So the more you know and the better you know the markets, products and strategies you trade on, the more likely you are to be a successful trader in the long run. So it all comes together. Your experience, your expertise, your intuition, and of course, your diligence. So daily reflection, regular learning, and the ability to motivate yourself again and again requires diligence. Trading is often hard work, and I can't stop saying this all over again because it's a job. Trading is a job. No matter if you're trading intraday or end of day, if you're trading forex or futures, if you're trading stocks or commodities, it doesn't matter. Trading is a job, and of course, being an expert, having intuition, making experiences, doing it all over again, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. So it's a job, and therefore can only be successfully implemented with diligence. So you have to stay focused. You have to stay at the ball, and this is the basis of every information collection and evaluation. So it's hard work, and that's the motor of any change and any improvement, and that's why diligence is so important.
Hey trader, this is Wieland. Thanks for listening to my podcast. Are you really interested to learn more about trading? If so, check out my Day in Swing Trading Masterclass just following the link in the show notes. And if you like what you see, use the discount code INSIGHTS10 for a 10% discount off the Day in Swing Trading Masterclass. See you there.
Target orientation. So set yourself a goal. What do you want to reach? Where do you want to go as a trader this day, this week, this month, this year, next year, and so on? So where do you want to go? What do you want to reach? Are you just gambling and fooling around in the market, messing around with all these trades and money? Or is there a plan you're following? Is there a goal to be reached? Is there a path you have in mind or a vision you follow? This is this is very important and makes a difference also in the outcome. If you make a profit, a big profit, small profit, or if you make a loss or a small or a big loss, it's all about target. Where do I want to end? Where do I want to go with trading? So if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a target, you can't be a professional trader. You're just messing around, wasting your time, and also wasting your life energy. Because if you just fool around and play a little bit with the markets, why are you going to do this? And why should the market give you something back if you don't know anything what you are doing here? So nobody would give you anything if you don't know what you are doing. Not in sales, not in trading, not in any job of the world or in the world. So goals also, targets, give us a motivation. This is why people stand up. This is why I personally stand up. I have a big goal for my life in mind. This is where I want to bring my life into that direction. This is where I want to go. And this is where I want to be at the end of my life. And this is why I do all this hard work. And this is why I go through the fire day by day by day. This is why I develop as a human being and as a trader every day, or try to do so at least. And this is why I do things, just because I know I want to be there somewhere in the future. And it's so important. So this can give us really the motivation. This is what drives us also. So if you have a goal in mind, then you know, okay, this is where I want to go, and then you can determine the right path to it. I mean, if you don't know where I want to go, how do you ever know which way is the right one? So a lot of people just live because they live. And as a trader, this means that you just trade this or you trade that, and then you trade here and then you trade there. You have a strategy A, you have a strategy B, you have a different strategy. Hey, you read in a blog or in community or in somewhere, you read there's a new move here, or you have an underlying there, and there's a new strategy. So what you're doing is, again, messing around, doing this, doing that, but no idea of what you are doing really. And that's why if you have a goal in mind, you know where you want to go, you have some kind of a vision, then it's a lot more easier to determine the right way to your goal. Which is the right way? If you say, I'm trading for wealth, the question is, when is wealth? What is wealth? And until when do we want to achieve it? And this determines the way to wealth. Is it day trading? Is it something else? Is it, well, I don't know, being a little bit more aggressive or defensive? And this is all what you have to determine to reach your goal. But before you determine anything, you have to have a goal, right? Talking about discipline. Yes, discipline it's essential for successful trading. Why? Because you have to sit and wait. Even if you are day trading, especially if you're day trading, you have to sit and wait for your setup. And it depends on the time frame you are trading in. So if you trade like 5 minutes, 15 or 60 minutes, you have to wait for hours for your setup, for your entry to happen. And also there's a risk that nothing happens at all. So then you sit the whole day in front of your monitor doing nothing. So you have to be very disciplined. First of all, to stay focused. And second, not to do anything until something happens that you have to follow, like opening a trade. And this is what needs discipline. The same is true if you are in a trade. You have opened a trade, you are in a good profit, but your rules say, well, my profit target is a little bit more far away, so I have to let the market follow its path and not to close the trade. Or you take the other side, the other direction, you are in a loss. But nothing happens, your stop loss isn't hit already, so what can you do? A lot of people say, all right, well, I exit the trade, I see I feel like it looks like stop loss is hit anyway, so I could, I spare a little money and I go out of the trade before market hits the stop loss. And this is wrong. And this is a mistake. It's a trading mistake. And you need to be disciplined just to follow your own plan. So don't do anything until you have to do something. And this is what you have to also be aware of, especially if you're a day trader. If you are, like, let's say, swing trader and focusing on signals from one day to the other, so analyzing the closing prices of the day, then things are a little bit different. But of course, just a little bit, because you also have to be disciplined over there and not, going after every position that could be possible, but just making the right choices and wait also here for a couple of days or even weeks for the right entry or exit signal. So discipline is key. Patience. Like in life in general, patience is a virtue in trading. It can easily be combined with discipline and patience, patience and discipline. So it takes often hours for a setup, for a scenario to develop. Sometimes nothing happens and there's nothing to do. And you have to be patient, you have to be disciplined. You have to wait, that's patient, and you have to be disciplined not to do anything and just follow your plan. Sometimes we sit just right there on in front of the monitor, waiting, watching the news, watching the markets, maybe reading some blogs, maybe discussing something in the communities. And what happens then is that, often people say, yeah, I'm in here, I'm in there, I'm already made a profit, and there's nothing you can add just because you didn't make anything. And that's quite often a problem, because people lose their patience, people lose their discipline, and then they start doing anything, doing this, doing that, and this is, and I can guarantee you this is the path to failure, and you don't want to go that one, right? So waiting patiently for the right opportunities is a key competence. And also, once the trade is opened, you also have to wait. So it's not up to you if the market goes up and down or sideways. It's what the market does, not you. Your job is just to be there, maybe managed if you have some rules for this, or just wait. Wait and see what's going on. So, and a lot of traders don't do this. They are not able to do this. They lack patience and they lack also discipline. And this is a pity, just because usually by not being patient and by not being disciplined, you are responsible for bad results. And these are two key components you need to apply in your trading day by day. And the same goes to dedication. I mean, if you're not dedicated to what you are doing in trading, how will you ever be successful, right? It's all over the same in life in general, in every job. If you're not dedicated to your job, how will you be rewarded? How will you be successful? This is also something. Successful traders love their work, even though they get hit sometime by the market. But this is one component in trading. So even though you get a loss and a series of losses, that doesn't mean that you don't love your job. Maybe even though you get hit and hurt from time to time by the markets, and the market shows you not this way, brother, take the other one. And even though you say, I love trading, I love this, I'm dedicated to trading. And I think this is what you already know from life. If you don't enjoy yourself and if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you are not successful in no area of life. So you have to be 100% behind all of your activities as a trader and in life in general. So this is what this means with dedication. And well, also then ask yourself, how is it about my serenity? So not all trades can be terminated in profit. Not all trades end in a profit. So we are discussing that in quite a lot of topics, but I think it's obvious that you can't win all over and every time. If you see some posts on Facebook or the communities at all, what do you see very, very often? You always see winning days, winning trades. Everything's green or blue, it depends on the picture, but everything's green. I don't see red anywhere. And everybody's a winner, and I'm not really sure if this is really true. Obviously, it's not. You will have some kind of loser. So even though if you have, let's say, more than 50% of all trades a loser, you will, or you can still be a winner. And this is a gift that we can get by management. And if you do have the right management, this is what will be covered in risk and money management, by the way. But if you apply the right management, you still can be a winner, even though you have a hit rate less than 50%. And this is great, but you have to keep that always in mind. So if you have this attitude of serenity, you can still open a position after a loss or a series of losses, just because you follow your plan. You can deal with the stress coming out from a loss. I don't like losses either. You don't like them. Nobody likes losses. But they occur and they happen. Maybe not today, but at least tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, no matter when. But they will. And this is what you always have to keep in mind. And serenity is an attitude that helps you to avoid stress and to deal positively with setbacks.
That's already it, and I really hope that you enjoyed this episode and you took away some learnings for your personal trading. If you want to learn more about me, about my interview partners, if you want to have a one-on-one coaching or even get into a training course with me or my interview partners, just get into the show notes and follow one of all these links you find there, and then I will be happy to hear and see you again. Your Wieland Arlt.